win this battle. Let's go. Come on, Sedona. Back to work.
All I ever wanted, all I ever needed is here in my house. Words are very unnecessary, they can only do harm. All I ever wanted, all I ever needed is here in my house. Words are very unnecessary, they can only do harm.
Namaste and catch my family, and welcome to another Team Light interviews with my brother, DeBear, also known as Stands with Bear. What's up, brother?
What's up, bro?
So, I mean, are we getting ready? I mean, I don't know. I feel the energy. I know it's so much craziness going out there across the planet. I also feel a bastion of light, hope, and change. Like the bifurcation, I really do feel like there is a new timeline for us. And I know you're out here in Sedona with me. What are some insights you can share on, the great changes that are coming and some things for people to look forward to,
I have to preface this situation because, as you know, there's been a lot of skullduggery, so to speak. Mm-hmm. A lot of things trying to keep things down, the energy, the people. But what's happened behind the scenes is phenomenal.
Yes.
I mean, phenomenal. And I'm seeing a lot more people step up. A lot more people are realizing just how important it is that they step up. Father Ashtar contacted me about 6 months ago, I believe it was. And he quite simply said, "My son, I have a message for you." I said, "Okay." He said, "Stop trying to waken the sheep. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, no matter what you show them, they will not see it, hear it, or feel it. Their path is clear. It's been set. It's time to waken the sleeping lions." And that's what I've been doing ever since. And that's our job.
Yep.
That is to awaken the sleeping lions. Because there's still a lot of them out there that are asleep,
yes. There's a lot of very gifted people on this planet. And the thing is that once you kind of step into your soul purpose, the weird thing is that you kind of have to exit the matrix. You can't, the matrix can never tell you or show you who you are. And I think that's the biggest kind of mind meld or, issue a lot of people have, is that the matrix can never tell you who you are. It is something that you must first discover on your own. But to even begin to feel that, you have to start working on your health, your wellness, detoxing the suit. There's like stages to undo what has been done to us. With that being said, you're a very gifted channeler. I know you've been playing the flute. I know you're speaking to Creator through your music. And, what are some messages that you've received recently? Not only about these great times, but like, what are some things that people should focus on when they're kind of getting pulled into chaos or in that certain type
So
of belief system?
one of the things that we have accomplished, probably, God, it was just like a few weeks ago, I believe it was. And there was a huge coup with the Galactic Federation, the Ashtar Command. There are a lot of people in the council that have been bribed or turned, or whatever you want to call it. So there was like a damn close to an entire galactic war happening all over again. Like the one we fought back in the day, right? And that's been handled. That's all I'm going to say. That's been handled. And directly after it was handled, everything started to change. Because it's about energy. It's always been about energy. Now, newsflash to all you Starborn out there. You didn't come to this planet to learn anything. You didn't come to study. You didn't come here to go through the ropes, so to speak. You're not here, as I've said many times, you're not here to learn. You're here to remember. Because everything that you are, everything you've always been, is still here. It's in your very DNA. Why do you think they try so hard to suppress us in every way possible? Like Rion and I have fought many battles, including the Thermopylae. Now, it's one thing to have a couple fronts coming at you, but when you got 17 or 18 coming at you at the same time, we're like, throw me a life, throw me a,
this is a lot. We need some support down here.
We need you guys, man. Get on it. Seriously. No more of this ayahuasca parties and that's over. Okay. It was fun, but now you're here to do a job. It's what you're trained for. You know that little star family, what they call the soul family? Do you know what that is? Each soul family is separate. They all have certain gifts, certain talents, and abilities that everybody else in their soul family has. So it's almost like a military kind of situation. One arm is reconnaissance, the other is the engineer, another is the sniper, and so on. Each part is here to do their job. And if you don't do your job, mission's not going to get accomplished. And those that are not out there doing what they came here to do, the old school folks like us, we got to pick up the slack. And we've been here 10,000 plus incarnations. Look tired of this rock. Just saying.
Listen, it's form Voltron, and now is the time to form Voltron. You know what I mean? You form the arm, you form the leg, you form the torso, and I'll form the head. The whole thing is that we're down here as the Avengers, putting the team back together. And I wish people, it's so weird. It's like, as you get through all the okay, you're waking up, and then, you kind of get through the dogmas and some of the religions. And obviously, Yeshua is my boy, Jesus, love him, okay? And Krishna, love him, okay? As you keep going up, Shiva, all my boys, okay? But what I'm getting to, and ladies out there, Sophia, Mary, love you. But what I'm trying to get to, Athena, okay, as you go up above that, into your oversoul, what are you experiencing? What is the universe requesting of you? Why did you really come here into this density? It's important to remember that, because sometimes we forget why we're here. We get so wiped. A lot of people forgot mission control. Do you remember when we incarnated? Do you remember what the mission was? Do you remember what you trained for? Do you remember? So there's a lot of things that we go through, and this place is very distraction driven. I mean, just look at the world right now. And I'm hoping that that distraction, as that volume turns down on the distraction, because they're really trying to crank it to an 11 right now. I'm hoping that those very gifted ones out there kind of go inside themselves, go into their hearts, find that stability, find and remember their true age, so they can obviously and expeditiously, right, get into their purpose to help this planet, because we need you up right now. Now is not the time to sit on your hands and ask questions. Now is the time to be active in the awakening process to help others. So I know you've been at this for a long time, bro, waking people up and helping people, right? I mean, this is our purpose. And a lot of people that, don't know my brother STANDSWITHBEAR, he has been with us since the very inception of Team Light 15 years ago. He's been my brother through and through. Him and Lightstar have been core members for a very, very long time. Yeah. And we each help each other in dream time. We each help each other energetically all the time and in the physical. So with that being said, what sort of reference can you give for others forming their groups? What are some things to learn from, like how we had to learn from each member and what they're responsible for? What are some words of wisdom for those that have some very gifted people in their group, but they're still working on balancing themselves or maybe balancing their shadow? You know what I mean? How do we get them into a place where everyone's firing on all cylinders?
There are those here that are what's known as shadow hunters, right? That's one of their purposes. And their job is to keep the peace. And they go after rogue demons, not normal, like chilling out demons, but rogue demons, okay? But that's a whole nother story. What I would share is that you all understand there's levels to this game. I've said it at many conferences. Like when you start the awakening process, it's like different levels that you go through. First thing is the awakening. And once you have that vibrational frequency and you recognize that, you raise your vibration even more, it becomes remembrance. You awaken, and then you have the remembrance. You start remembering past lives. You start remembering who you are. You start remembering that you're just not Joe Blow working at freaking McDonald's. And one day you stop yourself and go, what the hell am I doing? This is not why I'm here. And finally, the quickening. The quickening, the third level, is when you start to advance and grow extremely rapidly. Like you get to the point where you go to like a library and you're like, know that, already know that, been there, done that, yep, know that too. If you're an avid reader, at that point it sucks because just stuff starts coming back to you and you realize the very thing you've been trying to read or understand, you already know. You feel me? So
100%. No, I get it. When that higher level of consciousness starts streaming through your body, for me is when I actually used to have to mentally shut my mind off. I remember when I first woke up in Los Angeles and I used to get the Tesla shakes. Basically what it is your higher selves are hitting you with so much frequency that your body kind of convulses when you're sleeping, because they're trying to basically, I don't know if it's hot wire or they're trying to basically turn your energy body on very quickly. And this is me 2009.
No. What they're doing is grabbing you by the shoulders and go, would you for God's sake?
Well, no, but that being said, I like that. Yeah, there was a lot of one-liners, let's just say, of like, you're late. I got that a lot. But, in that process, I remember that I had to actually turn my 3D mind off. And I can say it really casually now, but I used to imagine myself walking through like a sci-fi warehouse, like almost like a Tesla laboratory. And the ceilings were 100 feet high. And there's all these switches and stuff. And I imagine that was like the visualization of the inside my mind. And I remember I'd have to walk over to this big like lever, and it said 3D mind. It was like 3D brain mind. I remember I had to grab this lever and literally shut it off. And then all of a sudden my body would relax and my soul would start to flow through me, because your brain has a beautiful way of explaining how everything works down here in the physical. But it's also very limited when you're trying to pull things in from past lives or your higher selves. There's almost like a firewall, you know? Absolutely. So people need to be prepared for that. When your higher self starts speaking to you, you know, ladies and gents, your life's going to change. That throat chakra turns on, or your hands turn on, your energy hands turn on, or your third eye turns on. It's not something that a lot of unconscious people can help you with. Maybe your friends and family can send you a book or send you a link on a video. You know what I mean? Or maybe send you an audio thing. But it's not something unless you've gone through it yourself and had to meditate and process and have that one-on-one meditations with yourself. That is the spiritual nature of the universe.
You know,
speaking to you, you know?
What's crazy is I don't really meditate. I never have. I never needed to. And plus I had a life in the patala as a child. 18 times a freaking day we're meditating. So my card's full, okay? You get to the point where it's like a situation when you learn to go in. You don't have to sit in a mantra position. You close your eyes, boom, and you turn it on. It's like just flipping a switch. It gets to the point where you just close your eyes, boom, you're in star mode, so to speak, okay? As you know, I've been a musician since I was in the 8th grade. And for years, like opening for bands like Molly Hatchet, Wasp, White Lion, Black and Blue, all of that. And I'm noticing, I'm going somewhere with this, that this AI stuff that's coming out, all these kids today are like, they create a song with AI and all of a sudden they claim themselves a musician, right? And I'm like, until you've had a ketchup sandwich and had to like throw a bunch of equipment in a van, $500 van, $5,000 worth of equipment, get about $100 worth of gas and drive 200 miles for a $50 gig, you're not a musician, okay? So the same thing, until you have gone through the dark night of the soul, you can't really get a grasp of who you are and what you're here for. Every single master, every single person that's starborn, they all go through the dark night of the soul because it becomes a tool that teaches you strength beyond strength. It teaches you to go within yourself and find that strength that you didn't even know that you had. You know?
I couldn't agree more. I mean, the dark night of the soul journey for me, to be honest with you, it's like I felt like I had it all wrapped up. And then in 2023, it reminded me once again, you know, especially after the jib jab stuff when we're all locked up, you know, my normal routine, how I stayed calm. I used to go to the gym every day, every other day, go steam every day. My normal routine was cut. So then I was like, well, how do I stay calm and peaceful and healthy now? You know what I mean? Like so that was a big wake up call for me personally. But the dark night of the soul too is choice.
Yes, it is.
What I like to remind everyone is that, you know, that 6th density unity consciousness is we are everything. I am you and you are me, right? Obviously, we're in 3D, working on getting to 4th density right now. As we speak right now, we're going from 3rd density to 4th density.
I think
not dimension, density. Yeah.
We're going straight to 5.
Well, listen, we're talking about, that's the goal is everyone's going to 5th. Okay, listen. Have you not seen Earth? Okay, we're going as fast as we can. Ashtar command. What I'm trying to say is that, yes, I would love to go to 5th density. Yes, please. Where all time happens simultaneously and the beverages are delicious and the spectrums of light that you can see are 10x, 100x the light spectrum down here in the physical. But that being
it's
said,
kind of like
yeah.
with Trump. Like he
Mhm.
he could be living his life, just being the billionaire, flying wherever, doing whatever he wants, a life of luxury. But instead, he decided to put all that aside. And hopefully this doesn't trigger some of the people out there, but he put everything aside to help
Yep.
the world. And that's what we did.
Yep.
We literally took everything that we were and became something more so that we could help the world. We gave up our families. We gave up those that we loved. We gave up our routines that we had, whether it be home world, whether it be the ship. We all came here. We volunteered. Now, personally, I have a theory that there was a huge party and there are posters everywhere, volunteer Earth, you know?
Come on down, save a world. Yeah, it's like a post save a world, you know.
Save the world. A lot of us are like, well, which Earth? Oh, that Earth. No, I'm good. And then we went to the party. They roofied our freaking drink. And then we wake up 24 hours later, and in the porthole, we see Earth, and we're like, no!
Okay, listen. We're doing great down here. Let me keep us on task. It's going to go right off the rails. We're doing so good. Okay. So, yeah, no, I used to say that I drew the short straw. I imagine like I was like a big Nordic, like Thor type dude. And like all the brothers are around, and I drew the short straw. I'm like, all right, I'll incarnate into the physical. Here we go. No, but the thing is,
sucks to be you.
Yeah, no, but here's the truth is, I mean, how much have we in this life? Yeah, it's been tough. And I know for a lot of people out there that are just finding us right now, you don't see the journey it took to get here. You just see us successful now. You don't see the first 2 years I moved to Sedona, living in a house of 5 people on food stamps.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You don't see, as of all the way up to like 5 or 6 years ago, living in a house with other people just to split the rent. I mean, people don't see the struggle that you go through to establish yourself while you're going through your spiritual, trainings and whatnot. And it took a lot. And I just want to say for everyone out there, hey, I was right there with you. Back in the day, I thought I was a king. I'd go hike all day and train, and I had $5, and I'd go buy a Subway $5 footlong. And I was a king. I was like, I got my Subway sandwich, I got my Sun Chips and my beverage. I was like, I'm good. You know what I mean? Just thinking about that, gosh, and how far we've come. And the thing is that sometimes to really train, right, to be that hyper focused. I mean, imagine these Olympic athletes. Imagine these Olympic athletes trying to get to that level without their trainer or their facilities being in the physical. We had to go up on the mountains and train with our higher selves. We had to go to ley lines across the earth, download what happened in the location and assist. So it was a very trial by fire way that we did it, my brother. It's not normal, and I wouldn't honestly recommend it for most. But what I can say is this. Having gone through that, it definitely gives you a perception of reality since you've been seeing on the other side of the veil operational for 15 plus years. I know you've been awake almost your whole life, but for everyone out there, the reward is, I can't even begin to express it to you, the way you think about existence, the way you view reality, the way you see things coming, the way you know that your energy can affect anything in this universe and how to wield that sort of energy. And a lot of us are just really kind of coming into terms with who and what we really are, which is we're eternal spirits having a physical experience, but always connected to our creator, always part of that gold team, baby, as we liberate this world. And the truth is, if you really knew your whole life that much responsibility was placed on your shoulders, could you even operate down here? If you knew, like, I mean, imagine you're a kid, you got your first job at McDonald's, you're flipping burgers, and your higher self's telling you the whole time, we're here to save this entire world, right? Like, I mean, 24 hours a day, it would never shut off, right? There's enough going on down here just to get out of survival mode. You know what I mean? It takes a lot of, you have to learn how to walk in both worlds. 1 foot in the physical, 1 foot in the spiritual. And I reference that because me and you wouldn't really call it normal meditation. We're always online. We don't shut off. So I close my eyes. I'm already on the other side because even when I'm in my waking form, I'm always meditating. I'm always constantly moving energy. I'm always constantly scanning. And I think a lot of people can resonate with that.
It's
What
like
are some other, yeah.
Some of us bounce from the ship to come here.
Right.
And we're like, well, are we going to be trained? Or, I mean, what are we doing? And they just look at us and go, you got this. And then shoot you out. And then you come into this place. And that's what I mean about remembering. Once you get here, once you get through all of that drama, the humanist stuff, and then you start to awaken who you are. The universe responds in kind. I've said it before, brother. There are several Jedi masters that will come into your life for 5 minutes, 5 hours, whatever time it is. And every single time, they give you just a little piece of knowledge that catapults you to the next place you're supposed to be, to the next master, to the next learning mechanism. And it's like that bouncing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And so what happens, the innate wisdom that we have an insatiable need to seek, to learn, to grow. So when that happens so many different times, we start thinking, who the hell am I? Why is all this happening to me? What is all these amazing spiritual things that are just dropping in my lap? And it's not happening to others around me. Because when God called you, it wasn't a conference call. It's a one-on-one relationship call. Your path, my path, are two totally different avenues. But the beautiful thing is, once you raise the vibrational frequency and you get to that point, we all get to celebrate together. It's a beautiful thing.
I couldn't agree more. I'm ready for the party. I got to be honest with you. I feel like there's a bunch of funny memes going around. It's like when you're over 40, it's like, bum, 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 ow. You know what I mean? The guy's flexing, ow. Like my shoulder, my hip, ow. So I always thought that was funny. I laughed so hard because I was like working out and I'd be like the next morning, I'd be like, my shoulders are so sore right now. But, that is really what we're doing. I think that all the starseeds, angelics right now, the real light warriors that are on this planet, the fact that we have to, all the Langan brothers, all the guys that are really moving heavyweight, Tone, and everyone else, it's actually like the bulldozers, right, of this place that really take this stuff. And when there are rogue demons doing weird stuff, they get called in to take care of that, to, black bag special that. I can say that the interpretation of our job has changed based upon the polarity of choice and power that we have received. I can tell you personally, the way I deal with things now is a lot more graceful than how I did it 10 years ago. The way I deal with things now, it's still, let's just say, I'm warming you up. Don't even do it. I see you getting pumped up over there. Listen, what I'm saying is that there is a way to catch more bees with honey. There is a way to get the same point across without being so maliceful. And I think that is one of the main things that most starseeds and angelics must realize. One of the main things is you're allowed to defend yourself. If you get into a tight spot and you have to clear an area, you're allowed to protect yourself. The only thing that we're not allowed to do is use malice. Okay? We're not allowed to use malice. Now, I got a lot of very gifted light warriors on this planet. Listen, being a part of your guys' squad upstairs and dealing with stuff down here, some of you guys are just, you're frothing at the mouth. You're like, put me in. I've been waiting,
Yeah.
And the thing is that some of us got to go, whoa, 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 whoa. remember, some of these things that we're arresting, some of these things that we're putting in stasis, some of these things that we're exhaling off this planet, they're not at the same conscious level that we're operating at because they're not operating from an oversoul perspective. They're operating in a dimensional bandwidth where they think they're King Kong in the fourth dimension, or they think they're King Kong in the sixth dimension. They don't realize, they don't have the perception that the whole universe is watching them out this role. So that being said, explain to me some of the ways that you have grown in a more positive way in the last 15 years and how you carry yourself, number one, how you chill out, number two, and when we're going to council meetings, how you get your point across in a very diplomatic way.
So the first thing we need to understand, all of us, not everybody is purple love, light, and roses. Some of us are very serious, probably too serious about things. But like my beloved Light Star, the way I calm down, she's definitely an anchor for me. She's literally like, because when I'm just losing it, I start cursing in Syrian. And I'm not kidding. I'm like, and she literally will come up just like in the Avengers, what Black Widow did with the Hulk. And she's like, sun's coming down, big guy. The sun's coming down. And that works. Believe it or not, it works. So there's a lot of stress in this world right now. And I'm going to talk specifically to my empaths, my master empaths. The master empaths, they can not only feel what's in the room, but they feel the pain of the entire world. So half the time when you're despondent, you're upset, it's not coming from you. We are filters. We filter through the energy and send it back out into the planet to help, kind of like a salve, kind of like a gentle breeze that goes over the planet and calms things down. Okay, so each of us have our own way of dealing with all of these things. Okay, some of us write, some of us create music, some of us play video games because it's an escape, and we all need that escape sometimes. Now, what I do is, one of the things I do is sit on the floor and I put the shielding around me and I just absorb into Mother Earth. I become one with it. I can feel all the roots, all the trees, and there's like this gentle embrace that happens that's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. So that's one technique that you can use. The other is give it up to the universe. Create a ball of light, of energy that you're angry about and release it. Let it go. Don't hold it inside of you, because the auric field is very important. If you weaken it, then you have outside influences like demons that can get to you. You know, it's like they always look for a crack. They circle you. Oh, what can I do to get closer to you? Oh, daddy issues. I can work with that. And then they get a little closer. Okay. Now, the only way an auric field can be disrupted is through drugs, anger, alcohol, things like that. That perpetuates the weakening of your auric field. So stand strong, put your feet on the ground, visualize roots grounding to the earth. And remember, you're kings and you're queens. You volunteered to come here. So straighten your crown, stand up straight, and do what you came here to do, because you're the best of the best of the best. And that's why you were chosen to be here. Many were called, but few were chosen. Now, as far as the council, when I'm at the council, I'm speaking at them, they understand that there's that human part of me that has emotionality. And sometimes I go off on the council because it ticks me off. They're just sitting on their butt and they're not helping the people here. And they kind of look at me like, insolent child. And I've been quoted as saying, you call me insolent, all of you up here in your lofty little chairs, when I am boots on the ground, like so many of my brothers and sisters that have been forgotten. You don't start a war and not give them their supplies that are needed. So, and of course, Father Ashar comes in and goes, well, he's part of the, he's in the human world and there's emotions that go with it. I feel bad because sometimes he has to smooth things over. So I've gotten better at it. I'm more diplomatic now. Instead of being proactive, I listen and I watch and I learn. And I learn the proper words to speak and when to speak and when to quiet myself. So it's a learning curve. And we all have to go back to source whenever that happens. If you get too out of control, remember who you are and go back inside to that source that is the Lord thy God, Yeshua. Remember that. So I hope that kind of makes sense.
Hey, I don't know if there's anything I can say that's going to, as far as I'm concerned, this whole world is changing one way or the other. Our job is light workers down here, light warriors, light beings, the 144, the angelics, all of this from that herald from different places in this universe. We've got this golden timeline. We have this golden opportunity. And my thing is right now is life is so precious. This opportunity is so precious. Just the opportunity for us to come down here and experience this level of density and bifurcation. But the amount of information that we've already processed, the amount of growth that has taken place on this earth is monumental, spiritually, energetically, the intelligence of our brothers and sisters. But I'm just here to remind everyone that as we come together, how important it is to share these gifts. And that is why, the first conference I ever went to was put on by STANDSWITHBEAR and Lightstar. They were the first ones that introduced me, 10, 12 years ago to what a conference was when I first moved to Sedona, and a lot of the friends that I met in that audience, I'm still friends with to this day. My brother Phil, to this day, and you don't know who you're going to meet. There are some very gifted beings on this planet, and our job here at Team Light is to kind of put them all together. We all learn from one another, and it's really about the friendships you guys are going to create with one another. So with that being said, my brother, is there anything else you feel like you're going to share, on stage at Rise of the Guardians in March that will assist humanity in realizing who they are?
Remember what happened last conference when I was in the back and I brought my sword that day, and you're like, bro, you brought a real sword? Are we going to get arrested? I'll never forget that. But usually most people that do a conference, they get what they're going to talk about a couple months in, 6 months down the line. And what happened with me was they ghosted me for like a year. And so I'm with Rion backstage, and I'm hearing my name being called. And then all of a sudden, my guys walk up to me and go, okay, what should we talk about today? Quantum consciousness. Good luck. And I'm like, what? It's, okay. And it's literally, and Ryan's the same way. It's like, you don't see us up there standing on podium going, Ladies and gentlemen, the demographic of today we shall be presenting and speaking about shall be, you're never going to see that. Never.
That's true.
Because the way we roll is we close our eyes, lock it in, we go inside and go.
Yep.
So a lot of the stuff I speak about it comes to me long after. And I think it's because they have to wait for certain energies to come into place, certain realities to take place. Because in the scope of the earth, of the universe, like I said, there's rules to the game. You're not going to meet that certain Jedi unless certain things transpire in your life that lead you to that person.
Certain choices.
Yeah.
You have to make certain choices to meet the right people. Yep.
And so, and then you have the experiences that are completely out of your control. Your official WTF moment. You're scratching your head going, did that just happen? Half my life has been about trying to figure out who the hell I am. And I'm still striving for that. I know I got a lot of things to do here. I know somewhat of what I do and partially who I am. I have to tell you, brother, and all the audience out there, you know, your life must be pretty profound. When it's so top secret, you don't even know what you're supposed to be doing. Okay. That's as real as it gets.
That's as real as it gets. No, that's true, you know. And, you know, with that, brother, we're going to save that confidential information for the stage at Rise of the Guardians conference, March 29th, March 30th this year in Sedona. And with that, my brother, how can people find you?
I'm on STANDSWITHBEAR.com. And here's a crazy thing. If you put Stands with Bear in Microsoft Bing, because I checked this myself, 130 pages will pop up. So I'm out there.
Beautiful.
More than you think.
Well, ladies and gents, listen, this is a team up. This is the Avengers, it's the Marvel team up. We're putting the entire squad together for you guys to learn from the best of the best and some very gifted beings on this planet. I look forward to seeing you guys out in Sedona for the Rise of the Guardians conference. Take a look. You can get tickets to that at teamlightstore.com. It says it right there, or right there, teamlightstore.com. And I'm excited. I don't know. I think we might be getting some contact. I don't know. I see something else happening. You know, March 29th is actually a slight solar event on the 29th, solar eclipse. Again, I did not choose those dates. My higher selves did. So they have something planned, and there's always something very interesting with Team Light. We always show up on solar events. The one in Bastrop, Texas, the one in Austin where it made the X in Texas. The light is being represented through us in the physical. And I'm just very excited to be there with my brothers and sisters.
At the conference, I'll be bringing my new album, which is my 30th anniversary album. And I'm going to be having the best of all 7 or 6 of my albums. There'll be 7. So I'm going to put out the best of my songs. Okay. The other thing, I want to talk to you, the people, the Starborn out there. And I want to speak my truth from the heart. We know that things seem difficult right now. We know that there's a lot of chaos out there, a lot of disruption, a lot of rumors and bad things being spoken of. Why do you suppose this is? Many of you feel very despondent. Many of you sometimes feel like giving up. That's why sometimes they go to drugs or they do other things to forget.
But I want you to understand something clearly. Do you know why there's so much chaos? Because the dark ones are in fear. Because everything that you've already accomplished, everything that we as a team have already accomplished, they are in fear. And they're throwing out everything but the kitchen sink at us to stop us. And no sling, no arrow, no words, no spear will ever fall against us, because that's who we are. That's who we've always been. We have shields beyond shields that you can even imagine. So like I said, pick yourself up, straighten your crown, and remember who you are.
And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I 100% agree with that statement from my brother. Till next time.
It's been an honor.
Thor! We need your help to win this battle. Let's go. Come on, Storm. Back to work.
All I ever wanted, all I ever needed is here in my house. Words are very unnecessary, they can only do harm. All I ever wanted, all I ever needed is here.